Hello travelers, Tara here, and this is going to be your elemental earth for November 2017. I want you guys to be aware that we will enter the Mercury retrograde shadow phase on November 15th. Now, what I think is going to be quite curious about this particular Mercury retrograde is that it's going to be falling in the sign of Sagittarius, where we already have Saturn sitting. Saturn is a not yet, he's never a no. Sagittarius rules foreigners, immigrants, imports, exports, colleges, universities, higher education, publishing, the internet. Mercury rules communications, the written word, the spoken word, the visual medium, short trips. We do know typically when Mercury goes retrograde, there can be travel delays due to bad weather or due to strikes or due to, missing your flight or missing your train, whatever the case may be. We also know generally that when we go into a Mercury retrograde, it is a time, anytime a planet goes into retrograde, it is a time to revise, rework, review, and tweak whatever that planet represents and where it's going to retrograde into, what house, what area of life. So given that Mercury is going to be touching in this retrograde phase, will be touching a lot of Sagittarian points. So no matter what your chart looks like, if you are not affected personally, then it is going to affect someone that you know or something that you are trying to do personally. What happens on a global scale happens on a personal scale. Okay. Saturn is due to leave Sagittarius on December 22nd. That for a lot of you will feel like a brand new start, but it will be a false start. Why? Because that Mercury retrograde energy will carry on 2 weeks past its date. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, it leaves, Mercury ends, I'm going to post an article up about it later today, so you can go over and read about it. I would suggest that if you have to sign any kind of documents or contracts, if you have to travel, please check your insurance. Please check the terms and conditions of cancellations and refunds. Check the terms and conditions quite carefully, because 9 times out of 10, something may occur completely out of your control, and then you have no way to back up yourself. So arm yourselves with the knowledge and be prepared. Have your plan A, B, and C. Now, we have this Jupiter-Venus conjunction going on. It started on the, I don't know, I want to say about the 6th or the 7th. It will be ending either today or tomorrow. And we saw that play out in the Virginia elections here in the United States, where a lot of women were elected into offices that were previously held by men. Venus rules women. Jupiter brings opportunities and abundance and growth. It's about planting new seeds. We even elected our first transgender politician ever in the United States. And against this backdrop of the Saturn and Sagittarius, so this has really been about borders and taxes and imports and exports, the higher law legalities. We have also had Pluto in Capricorn. Capricorn rules your standing in the world, okay? It rules your ambition. What does it take to get from where you are to where you want to go? Well, with Pluto there, Pluto says that those old structures that were standing, those old power structures. Why do I say power structures? Because Capricorn rules business. So this is large corporations, governments, churches, things of that nature. When Pluto comes in, he comes in to do changes, and he changes things from the bottom up. So it takes 248, maybe 258 years for Pluto to make a complete transit around the Earth. So the first time Pluto came into Capricorn, America was founded. The founding fathers of this country went to war with Britain so that they could get out from under the rule of the Queen of England. Then in the 1930s, we had another big peak of Pluto in Capricorn. It's been in Capricorn for God knows how long. So that's how Hitler and Mussolini came to power. but that also we saw the stock market crash. So all of those people who had money, those robber barons, the railroad, steel baron, those guys, they ended up losing money, right? And then the poor people at the bottom ended up being rescued and or saved and gaining a measure of power through measures like the New Deal, putting America back to work. Why were we putting America back to work? Because we needed to rebuild the infrastructure. So that's how we got a lot of highways and dams and national parks, things of that nature. So now we have Pluto in Capricorn again. And so what you're seeing is a change in the power structure. And what happens on a global scale happens on a personal scale. So some of you, this is about changing jobs or losing jobs, or your company being bought up by somebody else, or your company diminishing. It can, nevertheless, it's about Saturn rules the sign of Capricorn, and Saturn's lesson is really about perseverance and determination through hard times. Okay, just do it. So I'm going to bring you this reading. It is a general reading for Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. In order to gain any insight into your personal situation requires a personal reading. I still have the one question 20 for 20 special going on. That will be ending Saturday at midnight. I will not take any more bookings. For those of you who have already participated, I would like to thank you very much. I am offering a transit tutorial special coming up. I was going to do it on Monday, but I have some other things that have cropped up. Already the start of Mercury retrograde, that I'm going to have to change the dates of that. So if you have not signed up for the newsletter, that is free. You can sign up and get the dates on that. If you're not a member and you still want to purchase a chart, you can buy a standalone chart. All of that information is over on the website. You can click on the I right here. That will take you directly over to the website. Let's see, something else. Oh, and I posted the transit watch for this week, but somehow it ended up in the trash. So for those of you who were interested in what's happening, it goes out until Sunday. Go ahead. I've reposted it. It's up, so you can go over and look and check to see what might be activated in your chart. Of course, this is going to depend on what you have going on in your life. All right. So let's go ahead. I'm going to be using the Impressionist Tarot. I will be pulling a few Sibilas, and we will get started with the reading. All right, 9 cards down. 2 of Wands, 6 of Wands, 8 of Wands. Wow. Okay. You know, and there's a trine between the earth signs. They're all of the same element. So this is a kind of a positive energy in one respect. But then, you know, you got that one fixed sign. You've got Taurus, and you got the cardinal sign of, and cardinal is initiating. Cardinal means it's something to start with. So that's Capricorn. And then we have the mutable sign, which is Virgo, which means, you know, trying to be adaptable between everything else. We have the 3 of Swords, the Justice card, the 10 of Wands, the 9 of Coins, the Hierophant. Wow, this is interesting spread. And then the 4 of Wands. Wow. Underneath the deck, I have the Knight of Pentacles, someone steadfast and true. Okay, and that's the overall energy. And in one respect, what that Knight is telling me is that whatever path that you're on right now, you're being asked to maintain your focus on that. Okay, it may take you some time to get there. As we can see, we had a choice. A choice came in. The top, the 2 of Wands. 2s are always about choices, options, and dualities. 2 different paths. I see that for some of you, whatever choice that you made has brought you some kind of victory, success, and achievement. For others of you, what I'm picking up is that some news came in. Either somebody from the past arrived, or some kind of packages or mail or news came in. Here is this Eight of Wands. This also represents the energy of Mercury in Sagittarius. So this is about things coming in quite swiftly. Perhaps for some of you, you were already in a place where everything was okay. You just got out of a hump, and now this news has come in, and now you've got a choice again. Okay, what do I do? Well, here, the Three of Swords, the Justice, and the Ten of Wands. The Three of Swords is really the card of traditionally it's the card of heartache or sorrow. But I usually like to interpret this card in the terms of having to make a choice, a necessary sacrifice. When we come to a fork in the road, we have a choice of which path we want to take. And once we decide on what path we have to take, we have to leave that other choice behind. And to me, that is what that card is saying to me. Here is the Seven of Pentacles. Now we're kind of waiting on the harvest to see what is going to come of this new path that we've taken. Okay, so this card is about patience and perseverance, but it also speaks to the idea that even though you made a choice, maybe that you had to leave something behind, perhaps something that was quite dear and maybe would have been quite abundant in some way, or having bared fruit in some way. It also speaks to the fact that I don't think you ever lost sight that you had to plant seeds as you went along. So this is really about walking down a path perhaps of which you are unsure, but as you go down that path, you are planting seeds as you go. Here we have the Justice card in the center, and the Justice card is all about the balance. So for some of you, this could be some kind of legal issue. Why do I say that? I have two Venus cards here. Libra rules, is co-ruled by, this is Libra, and it is co-ruled, it rules Venus, as does the Hierophant. Both of these cards are ruled by Venus. And so this is about finding the balance within your relationships, okay? This could mean that for some of you, this is about a divorce or separation, or this is about a breakup of a partnership, or this could be about maybe some of you wanted to adopt a child and that did not come through for you. But what's interesting is that the Libra card represents those contracts and commitments and partnerships that are viewed in the public sphere, right? Well, here is Taurus, the Hierophant, and the Hierophant rules your personal possessions, your 401k, your movable possessions, your car, your house, your bank accounts, your jewelry, whatever it is that you yourself own. And maybe for some of you down the center, you were having financial issues, and now that's trying to balance itself out, right? But we can see that in trying to do that, there's something, perhaps a choice that we had to leave behind. Here is the Ten of Wands, and the Ten of Wands is letting us know that this is somewhat of a struggle, but it's a 10. So it's telling me that you're nearing the end of this particular cycle. What's interesting is that this is all wands down the vertical future column. So Taurus is also, as I was saying, it's a fixed sign. So this is really about planting those seeds and waiting and really shoring up or putting in defenses or sticking with that particular thing, because what we're going to end up getting out of it in some respect is some type of stability. It's also, to me, this speaks to some kind of movement coming. I know I've been wanting to move. And I've had Saturn sitting in my 4th house, and pretty much that just tells me it's not time for me to move yet. So even for me reading this, I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to move once I come out of the new year, let's say after January. I don't know, but what am I going to have to do? I'm going to have to make plans for that. I'm going to have to save. I'm going to have to find a place. I'm going to have to make sure, that everything, and take my time doing it. There's some value in this. For others of you, whatever this message or this news is, it does not, in one respect, is not really what you want to hear. Okay? But nevertheless, what I'm getting here is that, and this is really the only card of movement, and this is our outgoing energy here, that ultimately, whatever that thing is that you're leaving behind, you will regain some type of stability and some movement will come about. So if this, for some of you, has been that you've been waiting around to hear some news, and maybe you haven't heard it yet, here coming in, you haven't heard it yet, and this is making you feel quite sad. Maybe some of you are just determined that, well, you know what, I'm not even going to wait. I'm going to go ahead and do whatever it is I need to do. For others of you, this might be the news that you've been waiting for. You haven't heard it yet, but and then whatever this news is, it's really going to give you the impetus to move on. I want to take a quick look at the meaning of this Ten of Wands in this deck, because as you know, each deck has a different meaning. So this Ten of Wands, it says you're taking on too much responsibility. You're carrying a weight that should be shouldered by others. Do what you need to fulfill your obligations, and guess what? Then move on. So for some of you, this is really about dropping some extra baggage in terms of your relationships and partnerships, and maintaining that relationship and partnership with yourself. Building up your own security and structure. Now, I want to pull Sabila's on this Three of Swords. That's really the card that just stands out the most to me. And Justice comes in to say that, for some of you, this could have been some kind of disagreement or argument, and that maybe you felt that you were in the right, okay? And that whatever the concept, if that's the energy in which you were acting from and it didn't go the way that you wanted it to, then know that Justice just says that's fair and balanced. There are no punishments. There are no rewards, okay? Everything is based around your choices. So if you can try to keep that in mind, it might be a little easier for you to move through whatever this Three of Swords is trying to tell us. So let's see. Negotiations or conversations. Something that should have been positive and helpful to you. But fell through. Okay. Now, I would dare say that this could be about you taking a stand and saying, you know what, I'm not going to do that with you anymore, or I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to put up with the way my boss is treating me. I'm not going to come in here and keep working like a Hebrew slave and got nothing to show for it. I've tried to talk to my boss about getting more hours or getting a raise. That hasn't happened yet. For others of you, this could most definitely be a relationship. It's definitely relationship based. This is also, again, that message of legalities is coming up. And why do I keep bringing up legalities? Because Jupiter just left Libra. And no matter what, Libra is the partnership house, but it also rules legal issues. Okay? Sagittarian is about the law. So this could be literally that if this was about a separation, even if it was like for a severance package or pension, this could be getting the news that you're not getting what you thought you were going to get. Okay. And that maybe you're kind of taking on the wrong things or those particular obligations. For others of you, this could be about somebody draining your damn bank account. Somebody who's taking in more resources than they're actually giving. There's no sharing here. That's why the Justice card has come out in the center. It's about regaining that balance. How can I get how can I go into partnership with someone and get what I want, and they also get what they want? And if we can do that, we can have more together. Okay. For others of you, as I was saying, this could be literally about waiting for some type of legal news or negotiation to come through. And maybe whatever this news is, you're waiting for it to come in. And I would dare say that even if you don't get exactly what it is that you're looking for, maybe the best thing for you to do is accept that, figure out how to stabilize it here with the Hierophant, okay? Because the Hierophant also speaks to contracts and marriages and commitments. You have two of these cards here, okay? And figure out a way to move on from that and rebuild yourself some type of stability. So that's what I have for you, Earth signs, for November 2017. For some of you, this has already started. For others of you, this is playing out now. And most definitely, as we move into the Mercury retrograde Saturn phase, it will be playing out all the way into January. So for some of you, this situation may roll over into 2018. That's what I have for you. I hope those messages helped. Until next time, namaste.